Sorry about that. Can everybody bow your heads? Lord, thank you for the wonderful opportunity to find this list here today and this week. Thank you for our learning experience and what we did.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At
of Mountaineer Boys State. We have some awards to give out this morning. We have some special guests here. Without further ado, I don't think I need to introduce this gentleman, but I'm going to anyway. He's been our governor, he's been our senator, he's been a true friend to American Legion Mountaineer Boys State. Our senator, the Honorable Joe Manchin.
Thank you, first of all, to Jim Davis, to Matt Sampson, to American Legion Officer Mike Buss, who's traveling to all 50 states to say thank you for the staff, and thank you to all the volunteers. I hope each one of you young men understand the sacrifice and the hard work that goes into planning this. And I hope before you leave, you say thank you to each and every one of them. I want to say also to a person that basically was the glue to this for many, many years as Bob Stein. And and Betty Ann Williams is here, Betty Ann. But if you ever had a chance to meet Bob, you never forget him. If you haven't, this is what we have, the tradition we have going on. This is 80 years in the same place. The only one in the country, 80 years in the same place that we've been honoring the whole state. Let me say to the American Legion, there's not another organization in America that does more to build the character and recognize the outstanding young men and women than the American Legion. All over this country, but in West Virginia, over 30,000 young men have come through this program. And I'll guarantee you, most of them are leaders, wherever they are in the world right now. Most of these turn out to be the leaders of the world. They're the hope of the world. So I want to say thank you to the American Legion. Thanks to each one of you for what you all do. To Governor Angelo Cicciolo. I get it right in the book. I'm close enough, he said. But let me tell you, what an outstanding young man. The first from Berkeley County. The first governor from Berkeley County. In the 80-year history. He's on the Federalist ticket. Let me hear it from the Federalists. Let me hear it from the Nationalists. And guys, I want you to know, I spoke to the girls yesterday, Girl State. They had a little bit more zip to it. A little bit more zip. Let's hear it again. Federalists. Nationalists. There's so much I want to say to all of you. This is the most exciting day I received. Really, it's the most gratifying day I have. To come here to Girl State and Boy State. The 2 days that I get to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done. I don't know if any one of you realize you're not sitting here because of what you've done or everything you've accomplished. You're sitting here because of what they did. The people that brought you here, everyone, and made you who you are today. You're going to be a part of your environment for the rest of your life. You are who you are, where you've come from, and those who raised you. If you haven't had a chance to say thank you, give them a hug and a kiss like that, do it today before you leave. Make sure you say thank you to the people that continue, and they'll continue to back you for the rest of your life. I hope you realize that. I hope each one of you recognize that. There's so much going on in the world right now. There's so much. This is going to be, in your life, the greatest week that you've ever spent. It'll be the greatest week that you look back on. 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. You'll be bringing your young sons here. You'll be bringing your young sons here and continue the tradition. That's who we are. West Virginia is very, very steep in tradition. There's a lot going on in the world. We live in a troubled world in the divided country. I don't need to tell all of you, you're watching the press at all. They're saying, my goodness, what's wrong? Well, right now we just haven't gotten around to it. Everyone wants to fight. The visceral, the political, whether you're on one side or the other, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, you're conservative or liberal. Think of yourself, first of all, you're an American. Next of all, you're a West Virginian. That means more than anybody. Let me tell you why we survive when other countries will fail and they have this type of turmoil going on. We're the only country in the world that has the rule of law. When you ever see that great lady of justice withholding the scale and the blindfold on her, the rule of law is what separates us from every other country. Whether you're a homeless person in America, whether you're the President of the United States or the richest person in America, the rule of law pertains to all of us. We're all treated equal. You're all innocent until proven guilty, but you're not going to escape the rule of law if you've done something wrong. That's who we are. That's what makes us completely different. That's why we will survive every challenge we've ever had. That is why we will continue on as the greatest country. There needs to be civility and respect. Right now, if the person that you're supporting doesn't get elected, you're supposed to hate the other person. That's not the way we built this country. Whether you voted for the president or not, respect the office and make sure you always pray for the president, whoever he or she may be, to do the best they can. If they do I was asked about a month before the election, what would I do if Donald Trump gets elected? I says, I'm going to do the same thing I would as if Hillary Clinton gets elected. I'm going to do my job, help them the best I can, be the best this country can be, and I'm going to be an honest broker and tell them I think something's wrong. I have never in my political life or my personal life ever criticized somebody or been against something unless I had a better idea. If you think I've done something wrong, or I think you've done something wrong, wouldn't it be a lot more civil if I said, listen here, John, have you thought about trying it this way? Have you thought about this other solution that might work? I've tried what you're doing, and I made a mistake, a really bad mistake, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. Can't we get back to that civil discourse and help each other rather than try to tear each other down? That's what's going on. And I know what you have challenging you, I never had. Most of your parents and grandparents. We never had cell phones growing up. We never had social media 24 hours attack. We never had 24-hour news cycles. This was something we never ever saw. Never anticipated coming. We're having a hard time handling it. You all are going to have to filter this out. You're going to have to work on this. You're going to have to figure what's right, what's wrong, how do you stop it? How do you filter out? How do you not attack someone? How do you allow people to be a coward and say whatever they want to on Facebook or Instagram or everything else, attacking people when they wouldn't have the same courage to do it to your face? How do we allow that type of destruction going on in humanity? It's so wrong. And you all are subjected to it. There's more teen suicides right now. We've got more people addicted to opioids. Opioids is basically a prescription drug. It's legal. We lost over 800 West Virginians last year to opiates. And now heroin and all the illicit drugs coming in. Give you an example of how bad this drug problem is. In the United States of America, we have less than 5% of the population of the world. Over 7 billion people live on planet Earth. Over 300 million live in the United States of America. We're about 4.65%. The United States of America, the citizens of this great country of ours, consumes 80% of all opiates produced and consumed in the world. What in the heck happened to us? How did we become so addicted we had to have a pill to get through the day? This is what you all have to fight against. And this is what we're counting on. I look back in my life, we're all going to have a look back in your life. You might think, oh, I've done this wrong, I made a mistake here. Let me tell you, Cicero said to err is human. You're expected to make mistakes. You're a human being. Just never make a mistake intentionally trying to harm somebody. Put yourself in a position, always try to make something better and help someone. You have a responsibility to contribute back. You're an American. The whole world's counting on you. You're the hope of the world. If we don't get it right, this world is in trouble. If we can't pick ourselves up and be the leaders that the world needs, we're in trouble. If we can't show them the greatest democracy, the greatest freedom, the greatest opportunity, the greatest economy, the greatest military, we're the best of the best. Now let me tell you what's happening. I've been able to travel around the world representing the great state of West Virginia, and I get to brag on you all every day. I get to go to different places and brag. have a certain amount of pride and ballast in other state has. I have seen it. I'm not saying it because I'm a native of West Virginia, born and raised here. I'm saying it because I know. And let me tell you this. There's not a more patriotic state in the nation. You know how people make fun of us? You hear jokes being made. We've all been subjected to that. The next time somebody wants to say something about our state, make fun of our state, stop them in mid-street. Whoa, I don't know what you're talking about. Not the state, my state where I come from. I said, I come from the most patriotic state in the nation. We've got more veterans per capita than most any other state. Fought more wars, shed more blood, lost more lives for the cause of freedom. We've done all the heavy lifting. We've mined the coal, made the steel, built the guns and ships. You name it, West Virginia's done it. That's the state I come from. I'm pretty darn proud of it. How about you? Now, all of your families sitting here, we're all thinking back in our life right now. I never had the opportunity you all had. I never had the opportunity to come to Boise State. There's two things in my life that I regret more than anything else. Not having the opportunity to attend Boise State and not finishing to becoming an Eagle Scout. I love scouting. I got involved in ball and everything else. I didn't take time to get my Eagle Scout. I got close. I regret those two things. If any of you are in scout and you're close, if you got out of scouting, get back in and get that Eagle Scout. I'm telling you, it'll take you through life better than anything you've done. I mean that. The next thing I want to tell you very quickly is, you are privileged. How many of you are going to go back home and tell the sophomores, the freshmen, that by God, they're going to get themselves ready, they're going to get ready to go to Boise State, they ought to succeed, try to. Each one of you have a responsibility to share what you experience. Each one of you have that responsibility. You are a select few. There's only been 30,000 in 80 years, only 30,000 boys. Think about that. That's a pretty select few of West Virginians get this opportunity. And this will be something you'll never forget. The men, young men that you've met, the friends you've made, will be with you the rest of your life. You will meet somewhere. You'll meet at a business gathering, a social gathering, and you're going to tell, well, I was in Boise State in 2017. Well, I was too. I was in this gathering. I was in Randolph. I was in Canole. You'll be talking. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? How did you enjoy it? You still keep in contact with all your old friends. This is something pretty special, guys. And I want you to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it today. Let me say that the troubled world and divided country we live in can only be fixed by you. This is what the rest of the world thinks about the United States of America today. They don't believe that we'll maintain superpower status. Superpower status means you have the greatest military, the greatest economy. The currency of the world is based around the U.S. dollar. We are the only superpower. They don't believe that they could ever take us on militarily. There's not another country in the world that can challenge us and defeat us militarily. We have the greatest military the world has ever known, history's ever recorded. There'll never be enough. They don't believe that they can ever take you on economically. We have a $20 trillion GDP. That's the average annual value of our economy. $20 trillion. The closest is China, $10.5 trillion. Then it falls off the radar screen. You've got Japan at 5.5, you've got UK at 4, big bad Russia's 2.5 and 3. They don't think they can take you on, but guess what? They don't think they have to take you on. They don't think they can take America on. We're not going to fight you. We're not trying to take your economy. No, we can't. We're just going to sit back and watch you destroy from within. They don't think that you'll be educated well enough. You won't sacrifice. You won't work hard enough. They don't think you'll be clean enough. They don't think that we'll be able to maintain the superpower status because we don't have the people with the skill sets and plans not being addicted. That's what they believe of. Well, I got news for them. They haven't met Boise State or West Virginia yet. They haven't met you. As I've said this, we're counting on you. We're counting on you. You're never going to ever leave West Virginia. You might leave it in presence, but you'll never leave it in spirit. And I hope whenever you do or wherever you end up in the world, you remember where you came from. You're proud of it. I've said this before. I was a privileged child. People say, oh my goodness, privileged child. Must have grown up in a big neighborhood. Well, I grew up in Farmington, West Virginia. Anyone's ever been to Farmington? Little town. I grew up in Farmington. Must have been a big neighborhood. I grew up between the tracks in Buffalo Creek. Okay, must have been a big fancy house. I grew up in a 3-roof garage apartment. Must have been a lot of money. I don't know. I've never seen it. Must have had a silver spoon in your mouth. There wasn't a silver spoon in the town of Farmington. Wasn't like that's mouth. That's who we were. Why did I think I was privileged? I had unconditional love every day. Every day I knew there was women and men in my family, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom. They loved me. They were with me. I asked my grandfather, I got in trouble real bad one day, and I said, hey, Papa, are you with me? Are you behind me? And I asked him that, and he looked at me and says, honey, I'll be behind you until your chest hurts. Now, you can't get much closer than that. You just can't get much closer than that. So, if you got that person, that's why I said when I first started, if you got that person, I want you to give them a piece of in case you go do it. Because you've got something special. There's not that many young men and women in America or anywhere in the world that have what you have if you have that. If there's someone sitting here that's made a sacrifice for you, that's been there, they might have been tough on you, but they were tough because they loved you. Make sure they know today. And I'm going to finish with this. I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. I know how good you are. I never thought coming to Farmington, West Virginia, I never had a chance. Never even thought about it. Everyone says, oh, I know you probably always wanted to be in politics. Never thought about it. The family was always around it, but it wasn't. I was 35 years old. I got involved because I didn't like what I saw. If you don't like what you're seeing today in the state legislature, if you don't like what you're seeing in Washington, then get involved. One way or another, change it. You can only change it by getting involved. You can't change it by sitting on the sidelines. You can't change it by complaining. So, you've got an opportunity. I knew that I wanted to give something back. I knew that I always wanted to contribute. I was raised in a family, you had to do something. You had to volunteer. You had to go help people when people were hurting. You had to get involved with United Way. We always did something. And then when I got involved in politics, I was in the House of Delegates of West Virginia. Then I said, well, that's 1 of 100. If I become a state senator, I'm 1 of 34. I can help 3 times as many people. So I got involved in state senate. Then I think I'm 1 of 34. Well, guess what? If I became governor, I can help everybody. Because there's only one governor. I couldn't wait to get up in the morning and didn't want to go to sleep at night. I knew I could help my state every day. And I didn't have to beat people up and attack people and call them names. I could ask them, come on, get that West Virginia spirit. Let's show them what we can do. I didn't care if we were Democrat or Republican. I wanted to make sure that West Virginia spirit came out. So I worked with that. And then Robert C. Byrd dies. And I thought, well, maybe I can go to Washington and hopefully bring that West Virginia spirit. Well, I'm still trying. I'm having a little bit more challenge there than I had anywhere else. But I'm still trying. I haven't given up. This is a great country. And I have met so many wonderful people. I'm going to say that I believe that you will be the greatest generation the United States of America has ever seen. I really believe it. I believe because you have to be. Each one of you young men have to be. You have to rise up. There's never been a generation let us down. There's never been a generation that's passed the torch on, you let the flame go out. No one's ever done that. This generation, your generation, will not let that happen. I know the spirit. I know who you are. I know where you came from. I know how you were raised. And I'll leave you with this. There's 5 things that every person should pass on to a child. You're not a child anymore. You're a young man. 5 things are this. Every young person, every child should have unconditional love in their life. If you see some kid, it doesn't happen. It could be you. You don't have to be a biological parent, a family member. It could be you. Reach out to that person. Every child must have a safe place. Sometimes a home is not always the safest place. Sometimes it could be your home. Sometimes it could be after church program, it could be after school program. Every child needs a safe, healthy start. Each one of you should learn about wellness, how you take care of yourself, how you eat, how you exercise. That's your responsibility. Nobody else's. Every child should be taught a little skill. Each one of you can blame somebody for not doing as well as you've done in school. All of you have done well in school. You could probably do better in school, but everyone can blame somebody else. I ask every person that starts complaining about education, what have you done? What have you given back? How hard did you work? How hard did you study? How hard did you push yourself? Did you put enough into it, or you want someone else just to give you something? Life is like a bank. You can't take out more than you put in. And that's exactly what you have to understand. You want to build character? Look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I messed up today. I can fix it. That's my responsibility. I'm better than this. It's my fault, nobody else's. That's when you start building your character. Take responsibility for your actions. So I say to each one of you, you are the hope of the world. We're all banking on it. We're going to be behind you until your chest hurts. We're not going to give up on it. We believe in you. We love you. You've had a great experience. I want you to share it. I want you to go home and recruit. I want 400 young men next year here filling this place up like you all did. And with that I say, God bless the United States of America, and God bless the border states of West Virginia. Thank you very much.
Did the senator earn it? We had another guest with us all week from the American Legion headquarters in Indianapolis. His name is Mike Plus. He was in charge of the Americanism, deputy director of the Americanism program national. And he liked it so well, he stayed with us all week. So, our director, Jim Davis, has a presentation for him.
We heard this gentleman sing last night. We have a little pin here. You only get it if you earn it, and you only earn it by being here. Is Mr. Plus pin, does he earn it?
This year was a special year because we had as the senator mentioned, 30,000 graduates in this class. And the gentleman who would like to come to the stage as a 30,000 voice skater from the state of West Virginia, Timothy Wysong Jr. Our next award is the Tommy E. Jones Award, and it will be presented by our state police officers that was helping us here this week at Police Week. Trooper Lonnie Carpenter and Trooper Moss. And the winner is Huron James Arcega. Our next award is the Frank Taylor Award. And it will be presented by Ms. Aston Ford of the Legal Department. And the winner is Seth Oak. Next award is the Dave Ferris Award, and it will be presented by Mr. Chris Starks. Mr. Zachary Michael Beadle. The next award is the Dr. John Mikulowski Award, and that will be presented by our assistant, by our administrator, Mr. Randall Bushy. And the winner of that is Mr. Luke Cobb. Our next award is our Americanism Award. It will be presented by Doug Robinson. And our winner is Noah Comey. Each cabin participates for Americanism, and each cabin has an award for their cabin that we pick. A big winner for this. If I could have all of the candidates from each cabin stand up at one of your cabin protests. For those who don't know, the next part of this program, we send 2 citizens from here to Boise Nation in Washington, D.C. to become the Senate of the United States. And we pick 2 alternates and 2 that will actually go. Are on standby, if nothing happens. 2 primaries cannot go. Our second alternate is Wayman Gordon. Jim Davis. And our first alternate for Boise Nation is Jerry David Lindsay. Now for our 2 boys that are going first, Caden Stanger. Our second building is John Finch.
to recognize the counselors that form the bedrock foundation of this cabin. That's Joe Silberg from Grafton, and Nathan Rice from Moundsville, and Ryan Young from Shady Spring. This group has a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. He's one of the Voice Nation, State Fire Marshal, National Guard Colonel, President of the Senate, and Legislator of the Year. But I want to point out the guys that are down in the trenches. Our county clerk, Elias Week-Cook, and our assessor, Alexander Green.
Just a couple of parting comments. We've enjoyed Mom's dad, Grandma's dad, having your son here. Your son's here this week. We hope they've enjoyed themselves. We hope you have a little break. But we hope they take what they learned here and go out and apply it in the community. We hope they learn things that maybe they've never heard before. Maybe they think, well, that might work, so we'll try it. I'd like to thank the parents for letting us have your voice for a week. And when you go back, you can hear exactly what Senator Manchin said. Biggest hug and kiss you ever gave. You leave here. Hey, voice state. What do we do at the end of every function? Sing our song.
Tomorrow.